Hi, my name is Lindsay. I am the founder of Elderberry Queen. We get lots of requests on how to make elderberry syrup at home, so we are going to do that today. There's a couple of different ingredients that you're going to need to make this recipe. You're going to need elderberries, either dried or fresh. Today we're going to be using dried elderberries. You're also going to need cinnamon, ginger, cloves, honey, filtered water, and optional apple cider vinegar. So let's get started. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to measure out our elderberries. We have dried, like I said. If you use fresh elderberries, you're going to use a cup. If you're using dried, you can use a half a cup. So we're going to measure out a half a cup of elderberries. Today I am going to be using a muslin cloth. This is super awesome to use because it's not going to be as messy. It's way easier to clean up. You can just put it right in a pot if you want to. But I love using a muslin cloth. That's just from years and years of making a mess. Now I like to put it in the muslin cloth. So this you can find on Amazon, or you could find it at like a beer making store, a brewery store, or whatever. So we're going to take your half a cup of elderberries and put them in the muslin cloth. Next we are going to take the cloves. We just need 2. This recipe that we're making today I will post in the comments below. And this will make approximately 24-ounce size bottle. And then if you want to make more jars, you can just double the recipe or whatever. So we put 2 cloves in. We put our half a cup of elderberries in. We're going to do a teaspoon of cinnamon. I like to use organic Ceylon cinnamon. There's different varieties of cinnamon, so you can use whatever you have. A lot of these ingredients you should have in your house anyways. So that's really nice. This is a ginger. This is organic ginger root. I use about 1/8 of a teaspoon. So it depends on if you like ginger. If you're not really into ginger, it's kind of up to your taste. The nice thing is you can modify it to how you like it. So this is all we're going to be putting in. So basically, and then I just kind of go like this. And we are already starting with 3 cups of filtered water. So make sure that it's filtered. Please don't use like your city water or anything like that. And you're just going to take your muslin cloth, or like I said, you could put it straight in, and then you're going to put it inside your water. So we're going to want to bring this up to a simmer, and then after that, we are going to be cooking it for about 30 minutes. Essentially, we are taking the 3 cups of water, and we're going to be cooking it down to about 2.5 cups. And then after that, we will start again. So as you're cooking your elderberry syrup, make sure to, intermittently, obviously stir it up. I do love to kind of squish the berries down and get as much of the juices out as possible as you're cooking it. So we've been cooking it for about 30 minutes. So we've cooked it down from about 3 cups to 2.5. So we're going to turn off the heat. The next things you're going to need is one of these and a bowl. So we're just going to pour it in. And this is like a potato masher or something like that. And so this is where we're just going to continue squishing the juice out of these berries. We do not want to waste any of it. And that's going to let out a lot of that extra fiber from the berries, which is really, really great to have in your elderberry syrup too. So this is what you're going to be left with. This is what it's going to look like if you're using the muslin cloth. If you are not using the muslin cloth and you're just putting these berries directly into your pot, then once again, you're still going to need something to squish it. You can use like a really fine strainer too to get all of the juice out of the berries. And at this point, we're going to be adding our honey. So I have raw honey here. The best thing to do is to find a local beekeeper that has honey in your area. It's really, really good for you to get local honey, so that's a good thing. So we're going to pour this in here. We're going to use approximately ½ a cup. And this is where we're going to be doing some taste testing, because there's a very fine line between bitter and awesome when it comes to elderberry syrup. So we are going to be trying it for sure, because if it's bitter when it's still hot, it's going to be bitter after your product is done, and that's not going to be good. No one's going to So we're just going to add our honey. Like I said, this is a half a cup. And then I like to add raw unpasteurized apple cider vinegar. I started adding this about a year ago. This is not only going to bring down the pH to make it more shelf stable, but this is also going to add a lot of additional health benefits. So to this, we are going to add 2 tablespoons. Like I said, this is optional. You do not have to do this, but this is a great way to hide the apple cider vinegar and get it in your kids and your family without them knowing it's in there. It really does mask the flavor. You can't really taste it too much. So I like to add it. Of course, you certainly do not have to. So we're just going to gently stir and mix up the honey and the apple cider vinegar. If you are just making a 24-ounce size batch and you just plan on using it right away, these are awesome mason jars. You can just get this, at your local store. If you are planning on making a large batch, I highly recommend sterilizing your bottles. I would heat my bottles at 225 degrees for 20 minutes. And so you'd have that in the oven. So let's just say this was hot. You would, pour your elderberry syrup in here, and then you're going to want to invert your lid. So when you put your elderberry syrup in here and you close it, tip it to the side. That's going to sterilize your lid. And then, it's going to be a shelf-stable product if you get a good seal. And you want it to be at 4.6 pH or below in order for it to be shelf-stable. So our honey is all mixed up here, so we're just going to give it a try and see if it's sweet. If not, we're going to add more honey. Ooh, that's good. That's perfect, so we don't have to add any more honey. So we're just going to pour it into our jar. And this is going to be more of a juice-like consistency. This is not going to be thick. We don't have any fillers or thickeners in here. This is just perfect and beautiful the way it's meant to be. And we are just going to go like this. Like I said, if you're making a lot of these and you're not going to use it right away, you would be wanting to have this hot in the oven. You're going to be tipping it on its side. When you're tipping it on its side, I would say you would want to do it for about 2 minutes and 20 seconds in order to properly sterilize the lid. So there you have it. You have your organic elderberry syrup. Hope you love it.